In part 6 of this presentation, from the strategic management competitive advantage approach, concepts and cases, 17th edition by F.R. David and F.R. David, we will look at the internal environment and why assessing the internal environment is important to the strategic management planning process. The learning objectives of this set of slides will focus on the nature and role of internal assessment and why it is important in the formulation of strategies. We will look at the organization culture briefly and its importance in formulating strategies, and we'll also identify some of the basic functions undertaken by management and its relevance in formulating strategies. Now, distinctive competencies can be defined as a firm's strengths that cannot be easily matched or imitated by competitors. Therefore, in building a competitive advantage, an organization needs to take advantage of its distinctive competencies. An important activity that management must do or undertake on a periodic basis is to conduct an internal audit of its competencies, strengths, and even its weaknesses. So, in undertaking this internal audit process, the organization needs to gather, assimilate, and prioritize information about the various functions within its structures. And through this process, they'll be able to identify where the opportunities arise for the members of the organization and how this can be taken advantage of in the performance of the jobs and tasks within the organization. Now, an important criteria that needs to be considered in the formulation of strategies is the organization culture. The organization culture can be defined as a pattern of behavior that has been developed by an organization as it learns to cope with its problems of external adaptation and internal integration, and that has worked well enough to be considered valid and to be taught to new members as the correct way to perceive and think and feel. Now, this is a very long definition, but if you would like to a much briefer one, then basically an organization culture depicts the way work is done in an organization. So, for example, you may have two organizations which are very similar in terms of the products and services that they provide, but the way that the work is done in the organization may be different. And that is where organization culture comes into play. Now, another key element that needs to be considered in performing an internal audit is to look at the functions that are performed by management. And basically, there are 5 key functions that are performed by management, and they comprise of planning, which deals with forecasting, establishing objectives, devising strategies, and developing policies. Then you have organizing, which deal with the organizational design, job specialization, preparation of job descriptions, determining of span of control, coordination, job design, and job analysis. Then you have the aspect of motivating, i.e. how the leadership in the organization motivates the staff, what sort of mechanisms they use to facilitate work groups, behavior modification, communicational aspects, delegation of authority, adapting to organizational change, motivating employee morale, as well as keeping managerial morale high. Then you have the aspect of staffing, which deals with employee management, things like wage and salary, administration, recruitment, termination, and dealings with the union. Finally, you have the aspect of controlling, and this is where aspects like quality control, financial control, sales control, inventory control, expense control, analysis of variances, determination of rewards, as well as sanctions, okay, are facilitated. Now, a key element in undertaking any management project will be to perform what is called a cost-benefit analysis. Now here basically the focus is to determine what is the cost of the project and to compare this against the benefits that can be derived from the project. Of course, the expectation is that benefits must far outweigh the costs, okay, to justify the reason for undertaking a particular project. Now we have come to the end of this set of slides, and to summarize the key points, we have seen the importance of the internal environment. We have looked at the use of internal audit. What is the impact of organizational culture on strategic management? We have also looked at some of the basic roles of management and why there is a need to conduct a cost-benefit analysis.